What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Man, just got off work. Um, Quick update. Somebody thought it was a good idea to break into my car and take my stuff out. I don't know who did that, but blessings to them. That's all I got to say about that situation. Somebody broke into my car at night, uh, broke my window, and took all my stuff out right in front of my house. Don't know who did it. The police, of course, not no help, but they can only do so much. But anyways, enough of that. I want to talk about 10 things that we all need to focus on to get out of the trance that we're in. You know, we're walking around here with the same issues that we've had since yesterday. Now, I've talked about that before. You go along in life with the same patterns over and over again, and they bleed into the next day because you're not focusing on that gray area. Now, everyone has gray areas in their life, whether they know about it or they don't know about it. For the most part, the gray area that you don't know about is very unconsciously there, and your mind has you've let it linger on for so long that your mind has distorted your reality of it to a point where it's adjusted that it's a gray area. And when people talk about it, sometimes you don't even know. So you really don't really truly know yourself. And a lot of your gray areas are stopping you from getting ahead in life. So the first gray area that I want to talk about is stop thinking that you know everything. Well, it's not a great. I'm sorry, because I'm still kind of discombobulated about that window. But the first thing we want to focus on that gets you out of the trance in your mind is stop thinking that you know everything. When you think, there are people out there that think they know every answer. It's okay to say, I don't know. What it does is when you think that you know every answer, it's like you could do no wrong. And that puts you in a real bad place, because your ego will fog your mentality. Your ego is all up in that because your ego is telling you, I know everything. And when you figure out, let's just say you do run up on some information or run up on somebody that know more than you. Now you're jealous. Now you're envy. Now you're upset with yourself because you didn't know enough. That's a waste of energy. That is a gray area there that needs to be set and focused on. You need to focus on that area. And I'm sure you've had people that went to school or at your job that has that that's like that they think they know everything. Those type of people, their ego is just, it's crazy. And some of it, a lot of that has to do with their parenting, spoiling the kid and telling the kid certain things, but that is a gray area that you cannot ignore. It has to be assessed and worked on. So definitely that's so I deal with one at work. So number 2 is your beliefs. Who gave you your beliefs? Anything. I'm not talking about religion or it's any belief. Any belief that you have. Did you do any research? I'm talking about existential research on this belief. If you did not do any research on this belief, and you just doing some he say, she say stuff, or my parents taught me this and this is the way I am, you're in a robot. You're on robot mode. And some of your beliefs got you so stuck in your bubble and your paradigm that you can't see outside. Remember, we don't want to be so limited in life. We're already limited as it is, and that's why we don't have any of our goals down. You're limited because you don't have your goals down. If you truly was living a meaningful life, you wouldn't even want to have limitations. I trade the limitations in for a meaningful life. Like I was talking to this girl at the mall the other day. I asked her how much does she make? 20K a year or something like that. And I was like, is that cool? She's like, yeah, it's cool. Is it really cool? You know what I'm saying? Like what our mind likes to do, it likes to get content with the same patterns that you run every day. That way, I guess that's a defense mechanism so you won't get drove crazy, Stockholm crazy. But if you keep replaying the same patterns every day based off your beliefs, your mind will distort your reality, and it'll be a gray area, and you won't be able to get past it. Especially you start getting in your 50s and 60s, and you're not self-reflecting, and it causes major issues. You're just not going to get to your goals with those limitations. So your beliefs can come with beliefs come with limitations. And you wanna be unlimited in life so you can get your goals and everything that you need to get done. Like, your beliefs are in the way. You know. The third one is one-sided minded, or one perception. I call that a stubborn person, honestly. If you only got one perception on one idea, that's kind of basically how you become stubborn and don't get nothing done. And I know you know that stubborn person that's in your life. He's stubborn or she is stubborn because she got one perception on life. And they wake up with that same perception and do it over and over again. And if you try to stop their pattern, the ego comes up and attacks you. I've been saying this for a while. We got to get rid of that ego. That ego is really, that ego's a trip. And it doesn't take, it takes, in my perspective, and I could be wrong, it takes a lifetime of studying and actualizing yourself to get that ego down packed and get some of your self-deceptions down packed and master your emotions and stuff like that. But you got a whole life ahead of you. Get to studying, get to learning this information, make yourself better. You don't want to stay like this. One track minded, one perception it's equivalent to going down one street and there's multiple streets and you're trying to get to the other streets, but you don't want to turn left or right on another street to get to another one. And what you do is, honestly, you ultimately get frustrated with yourself and you get frustrated with others, but you're not self-reflecting, so you don't realize that it was you with this one track minded that's doing this to yourself. It's really an eternal burn that you do to yourself, and it puts you in a trance and you be stuck. So we want to work on that. Number 4 is listening to your thoughts. Like I said before, your thoughts are not your thoughts unless you've been self-actualizing and reintroducing yourself to the truth or absolute truth or whatever, listening to your soul. If you haven't, listening to your thoughts is not doing you any good. Remember, your thoughts are in harmony with the program or the habits that are burning inside of your subconscious mind. If you got bad habits, for the most part, you have bad thoughts coming into your mind. So that's something to think about. And a lot of us don't even know that we have bad habits because, like I said, your mind distorts reality. You've been burning the same pattern in your central nervous system for so long, you're unaware of your behaviors. So remember, your thoughts are in harmony with the behaviors and the paradigms that are running in your central nervous system. So if you know you're not where you need to be, and you know that your results are based off of your habits and your paradigm, then I wouldn't even listen to myself. I'd go on a thought cleanse and meditate and start reprogramming that some subconscious mind through affirmations and stuff for the right type of goals and the right type of thoughts that you need. And you sitting alone by yourself for more than 30 minutes to an hour, and you'll start hearing these crazy retarded thoughts in your head, and you'll hear them, and the first thing you do is go turn on some music or go and call somebody, or you'll say that you're bored. But what it is you're trying to avoid the conversation with yourself. You're trying to avoid talking to your spirit, because your spirit is telling you you've been messing up this whole time. But that is a gray area that needs to be corrected. We can't avoid this. We can't avoid none of it. Number 5 is thinking your life is cool where it's at now. Like I said before, I went to the store and I was talking to a young lady, and she told me she makes $20K a year. And I asked her also, I was like, is this paying your bills? She was like, nah, but eventually I'll get it together. I'm cool for right now. Does that sound intelligent? To have a job that's not even enough to pay the bills, but you're settling for it and you cool right now? Honestly, that goes in tie with listening to your thoughts, honestly. But this needed to be said, because we do get really stuck and complacent all the time. You're probably stuck and complacent where you at right now. You probably got the same thoughts you had last year. If you have the same thoughts that you have running in your head from last year, if you're still doing the same things you were doing last year, that means you have the same habits and the same program running in your head. And you're not going to be successful if you're running the same self-sabotaging thoughts that's not getting you nowhere. You have to literally kill the old you and transform you into the new you. And I talk about this through my videos. So it's really up to you to make that decision to start getting your life together. Because if you continue doing the same thing, if you continue to be content where you at right now, then expect the next 5-10 years of frustration and honestly, just frustration. And you're going to be frustrated with all the outside stuff, and you're never going to look inwardly at yourself, because when you, like I said, when you get alone, you don't want to listen to your thoughts. You just automatically say you're bored. Boredom is because you're asking lousy questions. Boredom is because your brain is trying to talk to you, and now you over putting up a blockage or a wall. Your ego puts up a wall so your spirit can't talk to you. So I said this ego is really crazy. It's really crazy. Do some studying on the ego. It's like having a second person inside of you. And the ego goes against everything that your spirit wants to do. And your ego wasn't even set up by you. It was set up by society and how societies run and how things are, how they want you to be. And it ain't even you that set it up. That's why I said, do you know who you are yet? Do you even know what you like? The stuff that you think you like, do you really like it? Or did mommy and daddy teach you to like this stuff? Where do you come in and figure out, is this really something that I want? Is this really my life purpose? Or is this somebody else's purpose that's put on me? That's something to really think about. Like, do you honestly want to think about that? Because that's real life there. We don't want to be on autopilot and be robots for other people. You gotta find yourself, and I've been finding myself, and I'm starting to reintroduce myself to myself, and it's a beautiful thing, you know. I don't let my present moments of go to waste. I don't let my present moments go to waste at all. I try to recreate and reimagine how I want my life to be based off of what I want, not what Billy or Bob or Sam or Sambo wants, but what Curtis wants. So number 6 is not number 6. Number 7, thinking. So number 7 is kind of tricky. So the concepts of good and bad. And I say this is tricky because William Shakespeare said it the best. He said, nothing is neither good or bad. It's the thinking that makes it so. I can line up 10 people right now and talk about a subject, and they'll all have their own opinion about it. One will say, oh, that's like, we could talk about Hitler. And probably 2 or 3 of them like, oh, Hitler was a great man. You know, some German people or whatever. I'm just saying. Or some the Jewish people like, oh, he was a terrible man. Or the black people like, oh, I'm indifferent about. You got all these different opinions about one topic. So what makes the opinions not all corresponding with each other? It's the thinking. It's the concept of good or bad. Your concept of good and bad came from your belief systems that your mom and dad planted on you. When a baby was born, a baby is born renderless. The baby does not know anything. The baby doesn't even know what a concept of good and bad. Matter of fact, your subconscious mind doesn't even pick up what good or bad is anyway. Let me tell you what you think good and bad is. You have an idea or a belief or a system of beliefs or concoctions of beliefs. And you think they're good because you associated an emotion to these beliefs called happy. And then you have another set of beliefs, just a whole bunch of them. You think they're all bad because you put a certain emotion to the words. You did this. And you practiced this as a young age. And, you know, you allowed your mom and dad to do this. So nothing is real. Your thoughts are not real. Just because you put an emotion to a thought doesn't mean it's real. It only exists in your head. Outside of your head, it don't exist unless somebody else's opinion matches up with you. But out in the real world, none of your thoughts exist. So the idea of good and bad is somebody else's concept that you had to learn. Like eating meat is bad. Oh, well, eating meat, I get protein from it. Oh, well, eating meat is acid. It all depends on what you believe it's going to be, but at the end of the day, it's all illusions. The whole life is an illusion. So the concept of good and bad is just you taking a group of ideas and attaching emotions to them. And your emotions truly put you in a distorted mindset that this stuff is bad. When in essence, in reality, it's all an illusion. The whole life that we're living is an illusion. And that's the realization that a lot of people are not gonna accept. And that's cool. You don't have to accept it. But just know one thing. I can say something to you, and if you have no emotion tied to it, it'll go out of one ear and out the other, and you'll never remember me saying it. So, with that concept being said, you tell me if another person's thoughts are real or not. They only become real, and you only put them to memory when you start adding emotions to them. And your emotions are really tricky. Some of your emotions, well, some of them, all of them came from the first 12 years of your life that somebody else programmed into your head. I know it sounds crazy. We like robots. It is what it is. I mean, accept it or reject it. I don't know what to tell you. Number 8, conceptualizing ideas. Conceptualizing, the word in conceptualizing is concepts. So when you take a whole bunch of concepts together and it's like, and you balloon them up into this big ass balloon and you make one idea out of them. It sounds really creative. But what if you got the wrong ideas for a person? For an example is, FBI agents do a lot of conceptualizing when they're trying to catch a person on, a case or whatever. I'm sure you know by now that even with all the proper evidence, that are conceptualized together, they can still be wrong. And it's a lot of cases where it looked like it was this person over here, but it really wasn't. So that's tricky. You got to watch it with conceptualizing ideas, putting a whole bunch of stuff together, because you could get caught up in that, and you can really trick your mind in thinking that, oh, this is real. Or, like, for an example, let's say I'm talking to a girl named Clarabelle, and Clarabelle is gone all day. Think about how many ideas that can come to your mind. Well, Clarabelle's dead. Clarabelle's cheating on me. Clarabelle's this. Clarabelle's that. Clarabelle's that. And Clarabelle can come home and give you a story, and then I got so many ideas that are conceptualized together that I can't even, my mind has distorted her story, and I don't believe her no more. So conceptualize an idea, and she could be telling the truth. There's a strong possibility she could be telling the truth, but I sat here and conceptualized all these ideas. I listened to Billy and Bob saying, yeah, she out with her another man, and he like, yeah, she is. You need to listen to me. When you start conceptualizing the wrong ideas together, especially when it's coming from other bozos, you really hurt yourself. It really hurts. And I've been a part of all that before, when I conceptualized the wrong ideas and got wrong results out of that. It can really hurt. It can hurt you and others. And, you know, sometimes you just got to trust your gut. Sometimes you got to be intuitive and just take a deep breath and let things go, let them flow, you know. Number 9 is thinking that you've already succeeded and you don't need to go any further. So for an example for that, I have a business now, right? I run me a business. The average person, which there's other people that are running business too in the same field that I am, the average person will stop right there and think, oh, can't nobody tell me nothing. I'm successful. I ain't got to do shit, right? But what I'm seeing from my personal standpoint is a lot of people in my business, they're not just only stuck doing this business, but they have poor money management. So it looked like they ain't even got a business in the first place. It looked like they running a minimum wage job because they got poor money management. So what they end up doing is getting a whole bunch of loans and doing all this extra stuff here and there, but they're keeping the idea in their head, well, I'm a businessman. But you're tricking yourself, man. You might as well say you a minimum wage worker. You know, if you knew you was gonna have to, if you knew that, because I'm not telling nobody to, oh, save your money. And I mean, if you want to be a big spender, be a big spender. By all means, be a big spender if that's what you want to do. But if you're going to be a big spender, you got to be responsible. If I was going to be a big spender, then I'm just going to go ahead and get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 businesses so I can do the big spending. So you got to put yourself in the position to do the big spending. A lot of people are like criticizing people for big spending. I mean, it's their money. If they want to do what they've got to do, let them do it. But don't think that you've already gotten success and you're tricking yourself and tricking everybody around you, but you stuck and complacent at one business. And you talking about, oh, I'm going to be a millionaire one day off one business that's paying a certain amount that you like, yeah, that ain't going. Like, it's really like, stop kidding yourself with your success. People get a little small bit of success and then they just throw it all away. We see rappers do it all the time. They get one hit and they become one-hit wonders. I'm sure a lot of them one-hit wonders could have made some better songs if they applied themselves more. They got real comfortable with that small success and they thought it was sweet and the game kicked them out. So what I'm trying to tell you to do is be an overachiever. It's okay to be an overachiever, especially if you got big goals. One of my favorite books is The Magic of Thinking Big. So I think big all the time. That's why at the end of this year, I want 5 businesses. That's my major goal for the end of this year. 5 businesses. Because yeah, I want the nicer things in life too. They're there for us. Somebody got to buy it, and I'm not finna be looking at myself like, why'd you get that, or why? That's what other people do. I want what I want, so I'm gonna get what I want. So let's just get that out in the air. So yeah, don't let a small or a medium or a large amount of success stop you. Look at Michael Jackson. He did Thriller. Jackson 5 was successful. Then he turned around. Off the Wall was super successful. Then Thriller, super duper successful. Bad, he just kept going. You want that type of success, man. You owe it to yourself. Make this life whatever you can make it. No limitations, man. Keep going. Keep climbing the ladder. Don't climb the ladder halfway there and think, okay, well, I'm going to sit right here. That causes stagnation, and then stagnation really is an illusion. You're not sitting, no one sits still. You're either going up or down. You're either growing or dying. So the stagnation is really an illusion of you're trying to stay consistent, but what gravity does or what life does is pushes you down. So you want to be an overachiever. You want to make big goals, because big goals causes you to have big growth. And that's all we're here for, is growth. Growth. We're growing. We're trying to develop into an awareness that we could do anything we put our mind to. And the last one is the very key, important one that really resonates with all 10 of them. Without this one, it's kind of hard to do all 10 of them, or the last 9 that I talked about. Understanding who you are. Understanding your brain. Understanding why you're here. Understanding your purpose. Understand who you are. If you don't know who you are, trust me, you're going to be lost out here like everyone else is being lost. You don't know your tendencies. If you don't know what you don't like or like, you'll make big major mistakes, like getting with the wrong person in a relationship. How many of us getting with the wrong person initially get with the wrong person and have kids with them? Pretty much 9 out of 10 of us. You know why that was so? Because you didn't know who you were. Or you were probably in development mode, and once you got to a certain development, you left that person behind. It's so many variables that go with it, but the main thing is you need to know who you are. Know your tendencies. Know your triggers. Know your purpose. You want to know your purpose in life? What do you like to do? What makes you happy that you wouldn't mind doing every day and not getting paid for? And that might take time for you to understand that. Master your emotions. That takes a lifetime. I ain't gonna lie, because your emotions are strong. And you didn't get a head start. Some of y'all listening to this video didn't even realize you can master your emotions. Some of y'all, matter of fact, because I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis, think that some of their emotions, like anger and all that, is a part of their characteristics. How the hell you got a characteristic called anger? That's not your characteristic. That's some stupid behavior that you picked up a long time ago when you were unconsciously unaware of life, probably when you in your first 12 years. That is not a part of you. You don't need that. That's hindering you. That's a gray area in your walk. You're not going to be successful with gray areas. A millionaire has mastered some of these things. When you want to be a millionaire, you have to master this stuff. Now, there's more than 10, but those were the ones that I thought about on while I was driving and stuff. And we have to master our psychology. Ain't no other way around it. Because I can hand you $10 million right now. And all you're going to do is every problem that you have right now just going to double, triple. Look at Hollywood. Dudes get money. They drug habits get increased because that's all they doing is buying drugs. If they lonely, they'll just self-sabotage every relationship so they can be lonely. Your head, your mind only picks up patterns. It doesn't pick up good and bad. It picks up patterns. So for the first 12 years of your life, your mom and dad was throwing lonely patterns at you, and you never, you didn't get it together, and now all of a sudden you an adult and you are lonely and you self-sabotage every relationship, because some of y'all do that. And now I give you $10 million. That shit gonna get worse and worse and worse, and the more you don't work on it, you ultimately killing yourself, not working on yourself. We don't just die of old age. We die of some of those crazy thoughts that are implanted in our head. But it's 2020. You're young. This is the best time to be alive. It's 19-year-olds that's millionaires now. It's people out here that are living meaningful life. It's your turn. But you gotta work on your psychology. You gotta work on you. Because once you get out there in that world of that tax bracket where it's a lot of money, or you get out in that real world and it's self-actualized people out there, you're going to be lost because you don't even know who you are. And not knowing who you are and getting around a person that's super highly aware, that's on some Zen devil type stuff, they'll manipulate you every time. Some of your relationships, you probably had 3 or 4 relationships where the man did or the woman did the same stuff to you over and over again, and you thinking every man and woman like that. No, you attract who you are. If you are no good son of a gun, you're going to attract a no good son of a gun. If you got emotional problems, you're going to attract a person that either has emotional problems or manipulate people that have emotional problems. If you are angry all the time, you're either going to attract another angry person or a person that's going to manipulate your anger, or a person that's going to try to help you with your anger, and then you're going to flick them out of your life. You got to master your psychology. You're out here manifesting all retarded stuff because you can't even get it together. You can't focus on yourself, man. You got to get it together, man. As soon as I start mastering my psychology, all these people that I start getting friends that I'm like, dang, I started manifesting the right type of people around me. I got like 10 good friends that popped out of nowhere. Bloop. Same level of thinking that I'm at. Where were y'all at 2 years ago? Nowhere to be found because I wasn't in the same vibration bracket as them. What friends did I have 2-3 years ago? The same vibration brackets that I was at that time. Where are they at now? They barely talk to me. But it's okay. I love everyone. It's not a big deal. Things happen. And in order for you to accept a person's change, you got to change too. So that could be hard on itself. So yeah, I'm sorry I ain't been making no videos, y'all. I just, like I said, somebody busted my window. I was sick for a little minute. I wasn't getting enough sleep, but I'm finna get back on it because we need this. We need these talks. And hey, I got some people that emailed me, so I need to do an email video on some topics that people were talking about. So expect a video tomorrow. I'm gonna get back on it. Life is good. Y'all, let's get it. It's 2020. It's an abundance of opportunity out there. Let's go get it. No more excuses. Let's get it. If y'all want to contact me, just leave a comment in the comment section. We can talk. Remember, like-minded people need to be around each other anyway, because we sharpen each other and make each other go sky high, skyrocket high. You can ask the people that's around me every day. We sharpen each other. And as time go on, we sharpen each other. That's why you probably stuck, because you're the average of your top 5 friends too. Your top 5 friends, you the average. So if you stuck at a certain level, it's because of the people that you hanging around with. It's probably the people that you associated with. They doing this, you doing that, and out of association, you act like them. Ain't no way around that. So honestly, what I'm trying to tell you is if I was hanging around with Bill Gates by association, I have to skyrocket up because that's who I'm around. Scottie Pippen started hanging around with Jordan, and look what happened to Scottie Pippen. You know what I'm saying? Kyrie Irving was a good player, but when he got around LeBron, look how his game leveled. By associate, it's like the law of association. You are who you hang around with. You are who you associate with. So get around people that talk like me, or get with me if you're in my city. We could sit down, we could talk, we could devise plans and make stuff happen, man. That's all this is about. Iron sharpens iron. But I will see y'all tomorrow with a new video. So I know this video was long. Y'all probably ain't gonna listen to this whole thing, but if you did, good job. Keep listening. I'll see y'all.